Hi guys. Hello. This is your girl, Black and Indigenous American. Happy February the 2nd, 2020. 02/02/2020. Happy Groundhog's Day 2020. Happy birthday to my nephew 2020. And of course, Super Bowl Sunday, right? Um, I'm gonna wait until some people get online before I start really talking. But I wanted to check in with you guys. I know I just had a live this week, but I'm in a different space. The energy is lifted up in here, and I just wanted to chime in with you guys. Now, of course, this space that you see is a different backdrop. I'm washing dishes that was here. I don't trust wherever I go, hotel, motel, whatever. I don't trust the utensils that they provide, so I usually wash wash them. um, so that's what I'm doing right now. So if you hear anything that's really loud, that's the dishwasher. I'm sorry. So anyway, today I checked into the Residence Inn Marriott, and it's a good about 11 miles away from my current job, so I'm not too far from the JOB. I should be going against traffic, which is beautiful, and it's definitely an upgrade from where I was staying. So the last video, I pretty much told you guys that I wasn't going to talk too much about it until I was out of it, and then I'll talk about it. Well, you guessed it. I'm in a different location, and now I'm going to talk. Okay. I read the reviews of this place. So it's not like I had no clue what I was getting into. But me being me, I wanted to um, give them the benefit of the doubt. I actually went there about a month ago to see how the rooms looked. So I had a little tour of the area, and there was some, rough around the edges as far as the decor and the furniture. So I was impressed, right? The price was doable, and the rates with the hotel that I was staying in before have gone up, and we were told that it will go up. So it is what it is. The first week with this whole hotel thing was at the Marriott Courtyard, which is 5 minutes from my job. Location great. Price was very, very uh, cheap compared to its regular rates. Right now, the rates now are like $140, $150 a night. Okay. That week, it was about $85 a night. And the price for each night for that week was shared with Mr. So Mr. and I shared the cost. One week he paid, the next week I paid, right? The 3 weeks after that, I stayed in the Sonesta. So you guys remember the last video that I made, my experience review or whatever. Um, there were some hiccups here and there, but other than that, the room was clean. It was, they accommodated me a couple of times, changing different rooms to accommodate Mr. and, his preferences. And so they were very accommodating. Um, I like the fact that they had cameras throughout the building. They had 24-hour, 7 days a week front desk coverage. Um, I like the fact that they had hot breakfast every day. And when I say hot breakfast, again, that's, scrambled eggs, whatever protein, for instance, turkey, sausage, or regular bacon if you're into consuming meat. They had yogurt, they had fruit, even though I mentioned before I wasn't crazy about the fruit because it's out of season and looked like it was out of season. Hi, Ari. Thanks for watching. And long story short, overall, the rating for a 5 star, I would give it a 4.5 star. I wish that Sonesta was very proactive with recycling. Even though they claim they recycle, and they did have a recycling canister or big bin behind the building next to the regular trash dump, I feel like that particular establishment, if you claim you want to recycle something, there's no recycling bin marked anywhere. They was like, okay, well, you could just put that bag of things you want to recycle in front of the employee stuff room. And I even asked them, I was like, employee stuff. So do they know all of these bottles and stuff that I've been collecting in this plastic bag is actually recyclable stuff and not trash? And they'll say, yeah. They'll put in the recycling canister in the back. You can go yourself if you want. So one time I did go myself early in the morning. I didn't feel threatened or nothing like that. It was daylight, and they do have a recycling bin next to the regular trash. So I wish they were a bit more forthcoming with the recycling policies there. It would be nice if they had bins throughout the hotel. So that's a strike against them. I would say if there's conversation in the room, if you walk by that room, you can hear the conversation. Just a FYI. Paper thin, not necessarily walls per se, but the doors, you can hear conversations. And I had a couple of conversations with Mr., and I'm sure people heard the conversations. If you're on a telephone, I could hear people talking on a telephone. Yeah. But overall, the rooms that I stayed in were on the 3rd floor. That was the highest floor. And so I didn't have to be concerned about people above me making noise. So that was good. So again, on a scale, or as far as stars, 5-star being excellent, 1-star being horrible, I would give Sonesta, the one I stayed in Maryland, I would give them a 4.5. I mean, 4.5. That's what I would give them. All right. There was a couple of times, a couple of people at the front desk didn't seem very, I wouldn't say bubbly, because I'm not a bubbly person, but they were not, it seemed like if you ask a question, it's almost like they talk to you as if you're stupid. And I had to clear a couple of people up about that. And, kill them with kindness. I didn't like that. Also, what I didn't like is that the Sonesta did not have an all-purpose printer for their guests. They did have a secure computer that you can log on to, but it only printed. It wasn't like a scanner, printer, fax machine, or whatever combination type machine that I'm used to. So that was a strike against them, because I had to scan a few things. Not my stuff. I was helping Mr. Because some things I can do on the job. It's so secure there. I can scan something real quick. That's for me. But I wouldn't do that all the time. And so we were kind of in a crunch or whatever, and that wasn't accommodating for us. Even I was like, is there a way where I can use Wi-Fi or Bluetooth for my laptop? Because they have a Wi-Fi. They have free Wi-Fi, right? Where I can have access to the printer, and I can print whatever I need to print without getting on their computer, because I feel like my laptop was more secure. I wasn't that comfortable using their printer. You know what I mean? I mean, their computer. They looked at me like I had 3 heads. Like, they didn't know what the hell I was talking about. So, whatever. That was also, And then plus, they have the smoothie bar. And a couple of times that I went to the front where the smoothie bar is, I was told that they didn't have the material, like the ingredients to make the smoothies. And they didn't have the machine, or something was not working right. This went on for about 2 or 3 days. And so, obviously, the layout of the rooms is like a small apartment or a studio apartment. So you do have a kitchen, you have a full size refrigerator, similar to the one that you see behind me. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to the store because I have my NutriBullet, where I can make my smoothies or whatever. I'm just gonna go like I typically do and get my frozen fruit and call it a day. So that was also somewhat of a disappointment. But other than that, I really liked the atmosphere. I like how clean the room was. Like the color on the walls in the room was very soothing. I like the color yellow. Um, and they definitely had yellow walls. You remember the curtains, the backdrop I had in the last video, that the curtains had some yellow in it. And I like the fact that the rooms that I stayed in was facing the actual courtyard versus the highway. So they did also accommodate my request to not be near the highway where all the noise is. So yeah, they get 4.5 stars from me, Sonesta. They have Sonestas throughout um, uh, some states, not all states. But you know how I love New Orleans, right? You know how I love New Orleans. And they have a Sonesta there. And so I like Sonesta. I really do. Aries says, courteous customer service is optional these days across the board or depending on ethnicity. Mr. Better get on point. I know that's right. I'm telling you, you spending money to stay in these places and you can't even get a smile from the front desk clerk, or if you walk up to them and they don't even bother to raise their head up to acknowledge that you're standing there. And I worked in customer service. I worked in fast food. I know when you work in an office or front desk or something like that, the person that's standing in front of you gets priority, not the person on the phone. The person on the phone can hold. And even though it pisses them off, but the customer that's standing in front of you, you need to help that person first. And so, sometimes you standing at the front desk and they still on the phone or looking at whatever on the computer, and it's 5 minutes later, they still messing around on the phone. So, I wouldn't necessarily say that happened at Sonesta often because I did encounter several people that worked there in different hours, and they were very accommodating and very friendly. But there was a handful, and I hate to admit it, but they were black women, okay, that were kind of attitude-ish. But when I was extra nice to them, after a couple of days, then whenever I would walk by, they would say, "Hey, how you doing?" So sometimes you got to do that. And you got to compliment them. Make sure you compliment them now. Because if you compliment them on their hair, nails, or whatever, then you get brownie points. And I hate to say that because sometimes black women in general that have come from challenging circumstances can walk with a chip on their shoulder. And I, unfortunately, was one individual that used to have an attitude all the time. Straight up attitude, okay? And used to curse like a sailor, right? You talking about evil eyeing people? Because I was pissed off that my upbringing was my upbringing. But that's no one else's fault, so I had to get over it real quick. So I give, I do give my black sisters sometimes a pass. Because I can feel like whatever they were going through or are going through is kind of, you can feel that energy. So when I try to be nice or compliment them on something, it tends to break down that wall and it helps, get whatever you need to get out of them. So anyway, enough of that. I posted a picture to give you guys a heads up that I was going live this afternoon. No lie, that picture was from the last accommodation lodging place I stayed at called Extended Stay. Now, I've stayed at Extended Stay back in the mid-2000s, right? I've stayed a few times there. The prices were um, doable. I mean, they've gone up over the years, but back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, I mean, you could stay there maybe 40, 45 bucks a night. Now it's obviously more than that. Extended stay has gone all the way down. I repeat, extended stay has gone all the way down. Now, let me take you all the way down the list of things compared to where I was at for 3 weeks, in addition to the Marriott Courtyard to extended stay. The reason why I stayed extended stay was because number one, the price was doable. You know, they had a discount or whatever like that. And number two, it was 5 minutes from my job. And number three, I figured, okay, this area is pretty safe. And even if extended stay is not the Marriott or whatever, I can work with it. Okay. I drove back from Outer Banks Tuesday. I get to extended stay about 7:30 in the evening. I'm already tired. And I go inside the front desk and there's no one at the front desk. And I'm like, okay, well, I can wait a couple of minutes. I don't need to have someone there as soon as I walk in. I literally waited for 10 minutes. So, while I was waiting there for 10 minutes, no bell to push or nothing, I decided, okay, well, let me go take this cart, you know, the dolly or whatever, so I can load it up and put my stuff on it. And by the time I get back inside, hopefully somebody will be at the front desk. And again, guys, I've done my research. I read the reviews. I knew what I was getting myself into. I did. And that was one of the main complaints that people were talking about. No one's at the front desk. So, I finally get my stuff on the cart. And I finally get back inside to the lobby. Someone's finally there. And I said, you know, I'm checking in, da da da, blah, blah, blah. And then the lady said, okay, you'll be on the third floor, blah, blah, blah. And I said, is it possible that I can get a room that's facing the parking lot on the third floor? Sure, your room is facing the parking lot on the third floor. I said, oh, great. Thank you so much. So I take my stuff, go up the elevator, and I'm smelling smoke, cigarette smoke, because some rooms allow guests to smoke and others don't. My room is non-smoking. And I am noticing some people that have been living there or staying there, I don't know, long term or short term, I don't know. No one necessarily rude, but you get that vibe like street life type people. And guys, I was raised in a trailer park, okay? I come from trailer park beginnings, okay? I'm not so detached from how people are in certain circumstances. I still sometimes go back because I have relatives that live in environments like that. So I know street people. But I sucked it up. I said, the price is right. This is in a safe neighborhood. It's literally 5 minutes from my job. It's right across from Wegmans, you know, which is a quality grocery store. It's not like a liquor store around the corner in you know, the typical environment where there's ratchet folks. And you can't judge a book by its cover. Just because you got a handful of people that are very street, that doesn't mean everybody else that's in there is street. So one guy, yo, what's up? I say, hey, how you doing? I've learned a long time ago, in certain circumstances, certain situations, you have to carry yourself like, not necessarily elegant or whatever, but in certain environments, you have to carry yourself um, like a warrior. So I put my warrior face on. I said, hey, how you doing? Kept walking. One guy passed me. He looking me up and down. Again, Mister's not with me. Mister is North Carolina. So me being me, I am Miss Independent. I don't need nobody. But at that point, I was like, it would have really been nice if I was not here by myself. um, Hi, woo woo woo. Hi, Jim Deere. Hi, Matt Down. Hi, Mo M. Hi, Ramson. Hi, Chris. Hi, Real Talk Mitt. It's a lot of people just jumped on here talking about crazy stuff. Anyway, I'm not entertaining that. But anyway, so I get in the room and the first thing I smell is smoke. So being that this is supposed to be a smoke-free room, it literally smells like weed and it smells stale. And I'm like, what the hell is this? What the hell did I just sign up for? It's one thing if the decor or the furniture is outdated or got scuff marks on the floor. I'm talking about cleanliness, people. Cleanliness. So I get up in there and I literally just walked around the room. I literally saw stains. Stains, guys, on the countertops in the sink. There's no way they cleaned that room. No way they cleaned that room. They had like permanent, I don't know, dye on the countertops. Just nasty. Luckily there were no roaches. Because if there was roaches, I would have been out of there real quick. Again, I was raised in environments that was nasty. Okay, I know what nasty is. And at this age in my life and what I expect in my life, the last thing I want to do is to stay somewhere where it's roach infested. So there were no roaches. Okay? There were no roaches. But then I decided to take a wet, um, napkin or something and just start wiping. And literally, just by me wiping, the stains on the sink that was in the sink was not there anymore. That should tell you something. That means they did not clean that freaking room at all. So I literally took all the towels because I don't do hotel towels. Okay, I take my own towels, my own everything. I took all the towels and placed them around the sink on the floors where I will like walk, and I actually have slippers, so it's not like I'm walking barefoot. I don't do hotels and barefoot. Okay, I don't care where I am. I put towels down, towels that were dingy. Okay, these white towels were dingy. Plus, Sonesta provides all the accommodations, including this place, that you would need in a suite like this, or a one bedroom suite or whatever. Your forks, your knives, your plates, your bowls, your cups, pan, frying pan, saucer, what you typically would need in a place. If you love coffee, they provide a coffee maker, all of that. Oh, not extended stay. Oh, no, no, no. Not extended stay. Extended stay has this stupid postcard on the counter in the kitchen that says, "Oh, if you need these kitchen essentials, just please stop by the front desk, and we'll provide you with a pack of it." Nope. I did not use that kitchen. Only thing I used in that kitchen was the sink to rinse out my bowls that I brought, and everything that I had, stuff that did not need to be refrigerated. Instead of putting it in the nasty cabinets, I put it in the refrigerator. I felt like that was the safest place for them to be in. I checked the bed, make sure I didn't see bed bugs. I didn't see no bed bugs, so that's a good thing. But the choice in color on the walls, guys, was hideous. It had this ugly brown dark color. Like the room just felt dark, you know? And this is what I came back to from driving 7 hours from North Carolina back up to Maryland. And that's what I walked into. So, anyway, long story short, I toughed it out the first night. But then I said, okay, I'm not using this kitchen. So the next day after work, I went and got cleaning supplies. Okay, you go to a hotel, and usually in a hotel, they have staff there that will clean the room. I ended up cleaning the room, not thoroughly, but I had a spray bottle of Clorox bleach and everything. I had I had Clorox wipes, and once I got back to that room, I started spraying the countertops, spraying the sink, spraying the tub and the shower, and everything that I would typically touch, like handles, door handles, the refrigerator handle. I just disinfected everything. And again, I didn't walk barefoot on that wall, on that floor, because it was just, ugh. And so every time I would come back to this room, I could smell like somebody was smoking weed. And see, what's funny is that when I first um, got there was on the third floor, I could see this guy looking out the window, like he was waiting for his ride or something. And then the next room, the window had uh, a regular fan in the window. And I'm like, why do they have a regular fan in the window? First of all, it's wintertime, right? It's wintertime. Why do you feel the need to put a fan in the window to cool it down? Hopefully they have, the HVAC and all that's working properly. Okay, I'm not trying to be there without heat or air conditioning. So I figured that thing out. The reason why they probably had that fan in the window and had the windows open was because they probably was smoking weed and they was trying to get the smell out, but it didn't work because I could smell it. Okay, let me walk you through what I found. The the um the top, they didn't have an oven because typically they don't have ovens in space like this, extended stay residences like this, but they have a cooktop, right? Their cooktop was rusted, both of them. Both of them were rusted, right? Like I said, the countertops in the kitchen, believe it or not, they had wallpaper on the countertops. Not just the countertops in the kitchen, they had wallpaper on the countertops where the bathroom uh, sink, and they had wallpaper in the freaking shower. So of course they're peeling. The wallpaper is peeling all over the place, and they have stains on it. Mustard stains, or ketchup stains, or whatever you want to call it. On the side of the refrigerator, it looked like there was a gap between the refrigerator and the cabinet, and it was full of dust. Then I decide, well, let me see if I can. When I go to a room, I'm checking everything. So I'm checking the dishwasher. The dishwasher would not even open, guys. It wouldn't even open. And I was beyond pissed off. But I didn't complain because, again, I read the reviews. I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew what I was getting myself into. But I didn't know it was going to be to that level, right? Whatever. I knew it. So I'm not going to blame anybody but myself. So anyway, um, you see this chair that I'm sitting in, right? This is the kind of chair. It has, it has armrest or whatever. Their chair they had did not have armrest, and the chair was embedded with stains in the chair. It was filthy. It was filthy. I would not even let my dog, if I had a dog, I wouldn't even let my dog sit on that chair. Disgusting. So I didn't use their desk. Like right here, this is a desk. I have things set up. Didn't use their desk. That's why if you watch my last video, I was actually sitting on the bed. I watched TV on that bed. I ate my dinner on that bed. I sat on the bed. I did my video on the bed because I did not want to sit anywhere else. Yeah, it was nasty. And then, luckily, the heating and AC was working properly, so I had no issues with that. And again, the bed, like I said, I ain't seen no bed bugs or nothing like that. I don't trust hotel blankets anyway, so I folded the blanket so at the end of the bed, the blanket was folded, right? So that's where I kept the blanket. But the sheet was pretty much all I slept with. And so I made sure I cranked up the heat so I wouldn't be cold. Because it was just me in there, so it wasn't like I was, trying to accommodate somebody else. The shower, like I said, the shower, they had the nerve to have wallpaper in the shower. So the wallpaper is peeling. Peeling, okay? Again, this is extended stay. Extended stay. Never again. Never again. Never again. I repeat, hashtag never again. The room was not clean when I got there. It was not clean. So, like I said, the next day after work, when I got the spray bottle of Clorox bleach and the wipes and all that, when I sprayed in the sink where I saw stains in the sink, and a few minutes later when I came back and just rinsed it, the stain was gone. So if it was that easy for me to remove a stain that I didn't even have to wipe from the sink, that means they did not clean that room. All they did was maybe change the towels and make the bed. And by the grace of God, I hope that the sheets were actually clean sheets, meaning no one else laid on those sheets before it was washed again, because it didn't smell. The sheets didn't smell. They didn't have stains or anything on it. Again, I ain't seen no bed bugs or whatever. But yeah, that was kind of like my fortress, that bed. Everything else in that space, I didn't want to sit on. Yeah. Extended stay has gone all the way down. Okay, so the next day when I wake up, I notice in the corner of my eye, I see something on the floor. Not a rodent. Thank God, no rodents. I ain't seen no rodent. But there was a piece of paper under my door. So I'm like, what is that? So I walk over to the door and I look at the size of a business card, and it says, "Hi!" Explanation point. I am in room 309. You can call or come over. I was like, is this person serious? Hi, I'm in room 309. You can call or you can come over. Now, I don't know if someone, maybe a possible female, that's just handing out coochie. Yeah, I said it, coochie. Because there are a lot of men, when they're traveling, construction workers or whatever, I've noticed, work trucks and stuff outside of the, hotel or whatever, in the parking lot. And I don't know if they get down when they travel and there's some, undercover prostitutes or something. Maybe she was just randomly putting cards under people's doors. Or maybe somebody was watching me. Because the thing is, and when I said watch me, I mean like a guy, like watching me and notice what room I went in. So I look at how they have a layout of where the rooms are and the emergency exits and everything. Usually it's behind the door when you're in the room, so you know where the emergency exits are. So my room was room 324. The room that this person said they were in was 309. 309 was nowhere near 324. It was all the way on the other side of the building. So it's not like this person was looking out the window and saw me and watched me go to my room. And plus, this extended stay was like you have to go inside the building, go up the elevator, and walk down the hall to get to your room. It's not like a motel where you're outside. I'm like, somebody's actually out here trying to either hook up with me and or trying to sell some coochie. What? I'm saying to myself, okay, if you thought you thought you had the right person in the room, you said your room number is 309. You can call room numbers. You could have dialed 324 and said, may I talk to so and so? I would have told you straight up, you got the wrong person. That person's not in this room, and it would have been over with. Why did you feel the need to put a small little card, handwritten card, under my door? And I had a flashback because back in college I had a similar situation where I had a note on my dorm door taped to it, and it was a secret admirer. And he says, I've been watching you and da 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 da. So obviously, if the secret admirer is kind of cute or whatever, I don't mind. But if you jacked up and scary looking, yeah, I have a problem with that. So don't be a jacked up looking secret admirer. But yeah, it was so weird. And so I hadn't talked about it. I didn't share it with anybody except for my best friend yesterday. But I was like, I'm not going to talk about it until I'm out of this space where I feel safe, and then I'll talk about it. Okay. So I decided instead of going down the lobby area, I was going to go down the stairs that were really next to my door. And I was concerned about that. Number one, for safety. Number two, when people go up and down the steps, they can be loud. And then, the room is right there. But surprisingly, it was very quiet throughout the entire stay there at night. They were kind of rowdy early in the day when I got back, which I didn't care. But by the time it was time to go to sleep, it was, surprisingly quiet. So, I couldn't complain about that. I slept very good under the circumstances. So, like I said, I decided to take the stairs instead because I was getting pissed off going through the lobby. The so-called breakfast they had was a joke. I mean, they had coffee, they had snack bars, like Nature, what they call it, Nature brand or something, or Nature something, and muffins that look like they probably got it from a liquor store that probably tastes like smoke. If you go to one of those stores and somebody smokes a lot in there, the food and everything in it tastes like smoke. It was a joke. So I'm like, I don't even want to go through this lobby. So the next day I went down the stairs. And so when I'm going down the stairs, I'm like feeling weird. Do you know on the wall somebody wrote, no one is safe? And I don't know if it was like letters of their initials or if they're part of a group that causes havoc. I don't know. But it was written on the side of the wall that is adjacent to my room. And it says, no one is safe. Oh, I took a picture of it. and I'm walking down the stairs. And so when I finally get down the stairs, there's bikes there. I guess kids, bikes or whatever. But there's a space under the stairs where someone could hide and do God knows what. To me, it was kind of a rape area. Somebody could take advantage. I mean, you got the stairs right there, and then you got kids' bikes. That don't make sense to me. So anyway, I get out the building, and then there's these big, tall trees right next to the door where someone can hide. And again, that could be a potential rape scenario. And again, the point is, it was on my way to work. It wasn't like at night that I was using the stairs or whatever like that. And it is predominantly a safe area. But still, it's like the whole setup there was just, to me, somebody could get taken advantage of in that stairwell. I'm going to get to the R word in a second, Chris. Thanks for chiming in, and thanks for being interested in what I have to say. But I'll get to that in a second. So, you get what you pay for, right? You get what you pay for. But I have officially upgraded. I've officially upgraded. The next day when I went to the grocery store, I forgot to tell you guys. Because again, remember, I went to the grocery store to get a few items along with getting cleaning stuff so I can clean a freaking room that was never cleaned. And I'm going through the lobby, and whoever was at the counter, when I looked over at her, she didn't even bother to speak. Now, you work at the hotel. You are at the front desk. When people walk in, you supposed to greet them. I don't supposed to greet you. I'm a guest. You greet me. And she acted like she had a little attitude anyway. So I just kept going. Get all the way up to my room. And again, I have bags of stuff, heavy, and my laptop. Because I don't trust leaving my laptop in a hotel, blah, blah, blah. Definitely not that place. The freaking key cards don't work. So I called down to the front desk, and I just mentioned, my key card's not working. She's like, well, you can come back to the front desk and we'll activate it. So I'm looking around like, do I really want to leave my stuff here? Because I don't know what kind of vibe people are on here. I don't know if somebody might go into my bags. I'm definitely not toting these heavy bags back downstairs. So I took a chance, left it there. No one stole anything. But I'm already pissed off. So I go downstairs. And I was like, yeah, I just called about the keys, and they're not working. She said, okay, I'll activate it. I said, so is there a reason why they were deactivated? Oh, well, I don't know. She said, I don't know when they deactivated. So typically when you check out, they deactivate the card. I said, well, I just checked in yesterday. I said, so you mean to tell me I have to get this card reactivated every day? She was like, I don't think so. But it should work now. Really? It should work now? That's your answer? So I just bit my tongue, and I just did like when you're frustrated, you do this. I did that, and I just walked off. I didn't say thank you or nothing. I was just pissed. So every time I walked in there, 9 times out of 10, there was no one at that front desk. No one at the front desk. It's like you literally have to walk up to the front desk, and they're back in the room somewhere doing who knows what, probably playing on a computer, and then they look up and see you on a camera, and then they walk back out to the front desk. Who does that? If you work at the front desk, you work at the front desk. You're supposed to be greeting people, making them feel confident that they chose your place to stay. Not having me stand there like I'm at a convenience store with the big camera of me. They recording me. I'm looking at a TV screen of me standing there looking stupid. And then finally somebody walks out and greets me. Well, not greet me, but like, hi, is there something you need? Yes, I need something. That's why I'm standing there. So anyway, I hung out with friends, took care of some business yesterday, so I was not in the hotel at all except late last night. So I was pretty much, I was, just telling myself one more night, one more night, one more night. Just be thankful. You don't have to pay a whole lot of money to stay here, blah, blah, blah. So that's what I did. So anyway, when I get ready to check out, I checked out at the last second because from the time I had to check out there to the time I had to check in here was from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. So I had time to waste. So I was like, well, I'm just going to stay until 11 and then leave. So when I get ready to check out, I think one of the managers that I met when I first took a tour of the place, he was there. And he was kind of nice. But obviously when you're checking out, I guess they feel the need, like they don't need to like really rub it in or whatever. So I walk up to the front desk and he said, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "Fine." He looks right back there and kept writing. And I'm standing there, waiting to check out, standing there for almost a minute. Then he looks back up at me and he says, "Oh, so you're checking out?" I said, "Yes, I'm checking out." I'm saying to myself, duh, I've been standing here for a minute and I have the key cards on the counter. I'm trying to give you the key cards so I can get the hell out of here. No, that's not how you operate. Whatever you were writing down, you could have put that to the side. You could have handled me because I was in front of you. That's what you do. Or maybe that's a Virginia thing. Hospitality. I don't know what it is. But I was in Maryland, so maybe that's different. I'm saying to myself, so you know I'm standing here. You said hello. And you continue to write. Had me standing here for a minute. And then you look up and like, "Oh, so you're checking out?" Duh. Yes, I'm checking out. So anyway, I went to see the gentleman. Just to, burn some time or whatever. And the trailer, in my opinion, doesn't do any justice for The Gentleman. The Gentleman was a really good movie. For me, it's difficult for me to understand dialect and accents, really strong accents. In particular, it had a very Scottish, I think, Irish maybe, or even English accent, British accent. And so it's kind of hard for me to kind of keep up with the dialect and some of their slang or whatever they were doing. But I kind of kept up with it. It was really good, guys. I'm not going to give the whole plot or whatever, but sometimes people have to get dirty. Whatever cards that have been given to them, whatever cards that was given to them, some people get dirty. Some people are here to crack some skulls. Some people are here to be destructive. Some people are here to rub us the wrong way. And then once they get their paper and their coins, typically they want to get out. They want to get out. They want to flip it so they can have a legitimate business. They want to be able to build their empire by any means necessary so they can be so they can help other people. This movie has so many twists and turns. And the acting was excellent. There was some humor. There was some wow moments. It was good. Again, you have to really pay attention. It helps if you understand the dialect and the strong accents. It helps. I may have to watch the movie 2 or 3 times just to and have the captions on, so I can kind of follow along better. But it was a really good movie. And Matthew McConaughey, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He was the main character. And this guy, he's a great actor. And he's easy on the eyes too. Very, very easy on the eyes. And you know that persona he has, I think in the Lincoln commercials, that laid back, suave, not stressed out kind, but he has power. He kind of plays on that with this character that he plays in the movie. Um, he comes from a rough background and he got dirty. And there's code, there's protocol in dirty line of business or different types of businesses that's dirty. And you have ego and you have this power struggle thing going on. And then you have people who are involved that are working for his character that's just as ratchet and just as smart and clever and strategic. There's a lot of twists and turns in this movie. And this one character called Dry Eyes or Dry Eye, I want to say his character was, you know, also playing dirty. But he was so cute. He was fine, okay. um, Asian guy, and yeah, it was good, guys. That was a movie that took me by surprise because again, I was just blowing time. You know, I had time to waste or whatever. But I caught the movie. It was funny. It was full of action, like I said. A lot of strategic business, underground, dirty type things. And even though I don't promote it, but I do understand the older I get that some people role in this life is to be dirty. And some people get their hands dirty. And if you think of politics, it happens all the time. All the time. All the time. What you see is what they allow you to see. Whoever you voted for, that's the mask that they're showing you. But behind the scenes, they could be doing some dirty stuff. You just don't know. They got to rub people this way. You got to rub this person back. You got to, under the table type stuff to get things done. Oh, they just built a park for the kids. That is so nice. He's a great guy. He's a family man. Really? Is he really a family man that's, cookie cutter? Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. Some people out there, when they're building, they are destroying while they build. And if you are the type of person that don't want to get dirty, then you may benefit from them being dirty, but your hands are clean. You weren't involved in that. But you don't know what they had to do or who they had to cross to build that. So you can come in there with your hands clean and feel self-righteous. Just saying. So anyway, that movie was really good. And again, I don't condone dirty business or nothing like that. But everyone has a role. And this country was built based on dirty business. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. When you see that flag flapping in the air, red, white, and blue, dirty. Dirty. Just saying. So while you pledge allegiance to the flag and you patriotic or whatever, and your hands are not dirty because you ain't killed nobody, you didn't rape nobody, you didn't steal from nobody, right? But you're benefiting from those who came before you who did dirty. So you can have your white picket fence and be self-righteous. Just saying. Now, I haven't been looking at these comments because I was trying to get my point across, but I'm going to go ahead and take a look at all of this stuff. Some of these people were posting stuff and probably got off real quick, and it's been crazy. So I didn't really, I didn't really feed into it. So I guess they got bored and left. So I'm going to read some comments that actually is worth reading. I'm reading through all the stupid stuff that I'm not reading out loud. So once I get to one that's legit, then I'll respond. Israel, or Israel, you've been commenting in the middle of all the other stuff that's not even worth talking about. You said, "Hi, Queen. Hello. Thanks for watching." Someone posted, Big Baba Putin says weed is healthier than fruits and vegetables. Weed, I have nothing against it. Nothing at all. Um, I am an advocate of medicinal purposes or uses of cannabis. Not necessarily for recreational purposes. I mean, I know people do it, and I'm sure it's okay occasionally, but some people that do it all the time, it is um, not as effective as you would hope it would be, you know. So I personally am not a fan of someone just sitting around smoking weed all day. Um, Aries says the trolls crawled out. Yeah. Like I said, if you ignore them, they'll move on because they're bored. And they all like seem like they decided to jump in all at the same time. And I'm like, what in the world is this? Well, let me just keep talking and they'll get bored with what I'm talking about and move on. So that's what happened. Um, Usual says UVC. I don't know what that is. Chris says I missed a lot. What is the story about? Which I mentioned that. Um, Usual said, wow, extended stay, they fell off. Yeah, that's a problem. I mean, you are a beautiful queen. Um, Chris says, I am the only one who is watching. And then you said, what is the R word? Again, I'll get back to that. Yajul said, respect. Chris says, okay. Israel says, Israel says, my bad, it's not the word respect. Okay. So you're talking about the R word. Thank you for sharing this extended stay. Just lost my business. Yes, that's exactly what's happening. You need an ice cream cone. Wow, yesterday I went to the movie to see The Gentleman. Oh, so you saw The Gentleman too, right? It took me by surprise. Like, I really had no clue that this movie was going to be that good. And again, the trailer just didn't do it no justice, not at all. And then when I was watching it, I don't like a whole lot of talking. And I've noticed a lot of movies that's British uh, accent actors or whatever, they use a lot of adjectives and describing a bunch of stuff. Hi, Jennifer. My BFF just chimed in, Jennifer. My real BFF, guys. My real road dog sister, Soldier. She just chimed in. Hi. As you can see, I have leveled up. I have leveled up. I have not given a tour of the room yet because I was in the middle of talking about the other place. There's now in a distant memory. But I did tell you a little bit about it. um, oh, Israel says you're a head turn queen. I guess that's you're saying it's a compliment that I'm attractive. So thank you for your kind words. Chris says, "Do you allow me to ask you a political question?" I don't care. You can ask me a political question, Chris. Uh, Yezreel says, "Ultraviolet light." I don't know what that means. Jennifer says, "I was about to say stainless steel fridge in the house." Girl, when I walked up in here, I'll say, "Thank you, highest divinity. Thank you. Thank you." Manifestation, okay? So, anyway, now I'm about to give a tour. So, let's get going. Oh, and by the way, Jennifer, I have my phone propped up on my NutriBullet. I did this before. So, I am still using the NutriBullet so I can get the right angle, okay? Okay, I'm going to flip the phone right now. Okay, so this is the room. That's the NutriBullet that I was propping my camera up or whatever. So anyway, this is the desk. Okay. And this door right here, I guess if you got 2 rooms or something like that, you can open up this door. I don't know about that. I mean, there is a lock there, but I probably moved the desk over there so I can feel a little safer. Okay, so you have the typical door with the latch. You know, most hotels have that. The do not disturb sign or whatever. The exit safety, you know, where the exits are. They also have a coat closet, guys, which is pretty cool. I have my shoes and stuff in there. They have a mixed calendar where you can hang out and meet new people, whatever. They have that on Monday and Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and it's complimentary, which is nice. So for people that like to chit chat and talk and meet new people, which I ain't that type of person, but if you're extroverted, that will be a good opportunity to meet new people. Breakfast is from 6 to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. Hot breakfast. So that means eggs, bacon, or whatever. And then weekends is from 7 to 9:30 a.m. Now, I won't be here this weekend. I'll be checking out on Friday. But I'm going to another Marriott where I get to use my points. And there's a deep discount through the Chase credit card travel portal. So the points that I'm using, a typical room like that will run you about, I want to say maybe 15 to 20,000 points. It only cost me for points. It only cost me 6,000 points per night. So I'm staying there 2 nights, Friday night and Saturday night, and I'm using my points for that. So yay me. So anyway, this is the cooktop. As you can see, it's not rusted, right? You have a clean kitchen, clean refrigerator. So I put my stuff in there. That picture back there was already in there. That came with the room. So if you want to make, something to whatever. And this is their fridge. Again, this is a full-size fridge. I went ahead and I purchased this again. Healthy Choice Simply Steamers Unwrapped Burrito Bowl. I did not do a review on this because I had it last night. I did a review on the Mediterranean Lentil Bowl. This right here is really good. This right here is really good, guys. It has some heat to it too, you know, some spice, but it's good. And if you're doing Weight Watchers, this is only this is only 8 points. If you're doing the smart point thing, if you're doing Weight Watchers, that's only 8 points. That's not bad. It comes with um, a coffee maker. This is my stuff right here, by the way. Um, these chips are the bomb.com. This is my box of stuff that I've been toting around. This is my rice water that I'm making. This right here, if you soak it for a few hours and then you use the water when you wash your hair, that's supposed to help with hair fall, to keep it from falling. Anyway, so this place comes with plates and bowls and all that. I already washed some in the dishwasher, so that works. Up here is a toaster, and I don't know what's over here. Nothing's over here, which is fine. Down here, for people that care about recycling and the environment or whatever, they do recycle. Recyclables only. This is the trash can that was in here. Dishwasher. You have pot. You got a bowl down there. All the utensils, I went ahead. I know, right? Jennifer, save the earth the best way we know how. The utensils, I went ahead and put them in the dishwasher to wash now, because, you know, I'm real particular about stuff like that. And again, they come with your essentials, you know, that you need, what you would typically need in a kitchen. So I can't complain about that. This kitchen is definitely bigger than Sonesta, which is, this space is bigger. Let's just put it away. You have a table here, and of course, this is extra if you decide you want to drink their water. And I think this comes with the room, the coffee. I don't think you have to pay extra for that. This is the seating area. I kind of like their decor in here too. They got two big windows. So I'm gonna go ahead and close them now. It was nice to walk in here and see these big windows compared to extended stay, how grungy and dark, you know, it was. And the walk in here, it was just a breath of fresh air. Got your TV that swivels so you can move it, which is nice. You know, if I'm on the computer or if I'm in the bed, I can watch TV. Again, here's another window here. I'm gonna go ahead and close. Of course, I've already looked under the bed, so no one's hiding. There are Bibles here, Book of Mormon and the Holy Bible. For those who follow Yeshua, I will be putting my crystals on top here. Because at one time, I think I told you guys, I printed a picture of a full moon, and it was during the full moon. I think it was the wolf moon in January, and I didn't have access to the moonlight, so some people suggest that you print out a full moon, picture of full moon, put your crystals around. That's what I did. So I probably put my crystals up here, and having also the protection of, you know, scripture there, which is nice. Again, I come from a Christian background, but, you know, I'm open to learning more than just what's in that book. You know, there's more to the awesomeness of the highest divinity that's what's written down, right? Let's see. So we have another phone here. So there's two phones in here. And so that's cool. Then we have a closet, a nice size closet. Just my stuff here. We have a nice size closet. You know, they have the ironing board, which I don't know what that is because I don't use it. I'm just joking, guys. I know what ironing board is, but I never use it. And they come with racks, clothes hangers, sorry. They do dry cleaning here too, if those, they want to get their stuff dry cleaned. And then this bathroom is nice and clean. All right. Oh, by the way, I bring my own plunger. I already know how I gets down, and I need a plunger. I know that's too much information, but I travel with a plunger. Okay, so the bathroom, like I said, is nice and clean. I don't see nothing crazy up in here. I don't see nobody else's hair. None of that. And then, this is my towel that I hung up there. And I kind of like the shower curtain. It's pretty nice. Look like this is going to be a nice um, water pressure in this particular bathroom. And then you have the sink, obviously down here. It actually has, a dryer, which I brought my own dryer, so I don't really need that. But down here, you have your extra toilet paper. This is mine, by the way, my stuff. But you got extra toilet paper and um tissue paper. And then what they provide is, Paul Mitchell brand. Paul Mitchell is pretty good. So they have shampoo, conditioner, makeup remover, face and body wash or body bar. And then they have this cute little soap dish. So that's kind of cute. So that is the bathroom. I like the fact that they have two closets, one for your coats. Oh, and I love this. I love this. Just looking in the mirror compared to the other place, it's like I got younger like 10 years. Just looking at myself in the mirror with those lights, they really help. So that is the tour of this room, guys. This is definitely an upgrade from um, where I was staying before. Definitely an upgrade. So now I'm about to prop this foam back on this NutriBullet. So just give me a moment here. I'm gonna plug the phone back up and turn this back around. Okay. So give me a moment to get back up again. Let's see. Okay. That'll work. Okay. So let me read some of your comments. Okay. Let's see. Chris says, thank you. I am from Europe. What is your opinion about Trump? My opinion about Trump is that he was chosen, and not by just regular people voting for him, but something bigger. And when I say chosen, not that he is this absolute amazing guy. I think he was chosen to shake things up. And in order for things to elevate and to grow, sometimes you need destruction, and it's uncomfortable and it sucks and all of that. But greatness come out of that. Not saying that he is going to create greatness, not him. He's just playing a role. So by him playing a role and his minions, it's forcing us, the rest of us, to realize our help is not from outside sources. Our help is from within. And we need to tap into that. And not get so caught up in what they're doing and what he's saying every day and what he's tweeting or whatever like that. That is a distraction. It really is. It's a distraction. What his role is to break down the system. That's his role. By any means necessary. Good, bad, or in between. I'm not a fan. Never was, never will be. But I can see the role that he plays. I was thinking about the story of Pharaoh and Moses in the Bible. Pharaoh's heart was hardened by God. He was a stubborn man. The point is, that was his role. His role was to be stubborn. His role was to be an egotistic guy. His role was to rock the boat, because then people had to leave. Because when people feel safe and comfortable, they put up with anything. They put up with anything. And when it got to the point where they were sick and tired of being sick and tired, and the Pharaoh was still being stubborn. And according to the story in the Bible, God unleashed on Pharaoh, and all kinds of plagues went down. There was no other way to explain what happened, but it was a higher power that stepped in. And sometimes that role that that individual plays, that is destructive and decisive and everything like that, it's building you up. Your psyche is building you up to be ready for, what's the word I'm looking for? To prepare and to be ready for freedom, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I'm not giving him a pass. I'm not vouching for him. I'm not, pro whatever he's doing. No. But he was chosen. And he even said he's been chosen. He's been chosen. He has. On a very high level, spiritual, supernatural level. This had to happen. And unfortunately, we've just been sucker punched. But it needed to happen. When it comes to pregnancy, I've never had a child, but I'm sure most mothers out there that carried a child know exactly what I'm talking about. It is one of the most uncomfortable yet rewarding experiences in a woman's life, is to carry something growing in her and sucking the life out of her, and to also birth them, go through all of that chaos to bring life to this child and to love on them. If it wasn't for all that chaos, that child would not exist. Chaos needed to happen. Even throughout the whole conception experience, there is some sort of chaos going on between the woman and the man, the male, the female, coming together. There's some friction, there's some chaos, there's a lot going on internally. Then there's the conception. Then there's the different the weeks, the trimesters, what is it called, Jennifer? You have a child. Trimesters. And so, as the child grows, the mother gets more and more uncomfortable and irritable. Her body changes, her hormones are changing. A lot has to happen before that child has been birthed, delivered, I should say. And so in order for that child to experience delivery, that freedom, he or she has to go down the birth canal in most cases, or be, cut out of the mother's stomach. It's a whole lot that has to happen that's destructive. The woman's vagina is being ripped in order to bring forth that life. And so I know this is a long answer to your question, Chris, about, the guy in the White House, but he was chosen. And with that said, we have to step away from the circus and really dig in deep for our own spiritual well-being, dig in deep and understand that our freedom is in our hands, in our own hands. We have to tap into our highest level. Right now, that's low vibrations over there. Low. Including extended stay. Low vibrations. Low. But there needs to be a balance, guys. You need the low and you need the high. It can't be low all the time and it can't be high all the time. There needs to be a balance between the two energies, right? You can't have that in the White House 24/7, 365. No, that high vibration want to have to come down, meet them halfway so it can be balanced. That's my take on it. Yezreel said, Trump can kiss my... Well, no one here is paying him much attention. We know how he feels about us. Yeah, he could care less. He's a narcissist. He loves to hear himself talk, and he loves the fact that somebody's talking about him every day, and he's on the news every day. So, he loves that. Chris says, usual family, okay, that can be, but because I am not from the U.S., I want to know how the Americans are thinking about him. Oh, Chris, I don't know what kind of media that you have access to, but most of the people in this country dislike him and his minions. I mean, I live near D.C. right now. I can't tell you how many protests have been going on in front of that White House. Now, it may not be aired on TV or whatever like that, and depending on the network too. Some networks cater to him and his minions and their agendas, and then others don't. But there's always a protest going on, always in front of that White House. Jennifer says, we don't like him, Chris. Well, the racist peeps do. The racist peeps and the rich peeps. So you have a lot of people with my complexion and darker that vote for him because they're in business. They either are business people or they're so caught up on what the Bible said and listening to their spiritual leaders to brainwash them based on one or two issues. And more than likely, it is abortion and gay rights. Those are the top two reasons why somebody like myself would vote for the guy. And there's no other issues, but those are the top two issues that you hear about at your place of worship every Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday night, Sunday night, or whatever the schedule is. And those are the only two issues, or you think they're issues. I have mixed feelings about the whole abortion thing. I don't believe in taking a child's life, but that's for me and mine. It is not my right to tell somebody else what they should be doing with their body. That's them. And maybe that child was not supposed to be here in the first place. Maybe that child energy was supposed to be reborn or resurrected or whatever at a different time. I have mixed feelings about it, but at the end of the day, what someone else does, that's their path, their walk. That's them. That ain't got nothing to do with me. What somebody doing in that bedroom has nothing to do with me, as long as they're not hurting someone, especially innocent people. I have a problem with that. But if they're adults, consensual adults, I don't care what they do. What that person's doing with their genitals has nothing to do with my bills being paid and where the hell I live. That's what I care about. Where I lay my head and my bills getting paid. Can you pay my bills? If you can't, shut the hell up. I don't care what they doing in their bedroom. That ain't got nothing to do with me. It ain't got nothing to do with you. Done. Next. And that used to get on my nerves too. When I used to attend some worship ceremonies or whatever like that, they'll kind of get tied up with all of that. And I'm like, please, that ain't got nothing to do with you. Nothing. And the whole abortion thing, again, I have mixed feelings about it. I personally am against harming the life of an innocent child. But it is not my business what the next person is doing. Because guess what? If that person decides to have that child, are you going to take care of it? Are you going to make sure that child is clothed? Are you going to make sure that child has a warm and loving environment to live in? That their needs are met? Are you going to do that? Or are you going to vote to keep them in cages at the border? The same people that's worried about somebody getting an abortion are the same people are voting for the wall south of the border of Mexico, with kids being separated from their families in cages. Those are the same people. Hypocrites. All right, I'm looking at some more comments here. So give me a moment here to see what you guys are talking about. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Let's see. You guys are really getting down in this chat box. Yeshua says, I'm Aboriginal, Indigenous, Copper Color Man. Hey, hashtag copper. I'm wearing copper right now. Biting my tongue. Jennifer. Yeshua says, that's a good idea, having your own plunger. They clog easy when you use your own toiletries. Okay, let me just keeps it real, okay? Let me keep it real. In some establishments, let's say a grocery store, a rest stop, well, yeah, I guess a rest stop, a Wawa, or something like that, a movie theater, they have industrial size or industrial type toilets, right? So they have suction, right? You can put a brick down that toilet and it's going to suck it down there. But other places, not the case. So being that I am being flexible with my living arrangement, lately I take my plunger with me because you never know. You never know. That's all I'm going to say about that. I ain't going to get too graphic. Chris says, sorry, I think I don't understand you right. What do you mean by biting your tongue? Okay, he's talking about Jennifer. Jennifer is saying there's more that she can say, but she's not going to talk too much more about it. And one thing about Jennifer, my BFF, she is really passionate about politicians not being our saviors, okay? Many of us, including myself, we vote for a particular politician. And one thing about Jennifer, she believes that one person cannot save everybody, or one person cannot take care of all of our problems. At the end of the day, we need to start at home and not to rely so much on the politicians. Now, I'm not on that level like Jennifer. I mean, I still have hope in some aspects of certain politicians and things of that nature. I take the good with the bad, you know. But that's what she meant by that when she says no comment. She's biting her tongue because she's very passionate about politics. That's what that means. Um, Yeshua says, couldn't have answered Chris any better. That's exactly what he's doing and what's happening. I guess you're talking about the clown in the White House, the appointed clown, the chosen one. Yeah. Yeshua says, order out of chaos. Yes. Yes. Think of the Big Bang Theory, guys. This is one analogy that I keep hearing people say. What we see now would not have existed if there wasn't a Big Bang, right? If there wasn't thoughts. There needed to be thoughts from the highest divinity, God, or whatever you want to call it. That energy. It had to be a thought, and then it was spoken, which is a spell. It was spoken, and then there was light. It came from darkness. Everything that we see now, even our own existence, came from dark matter, darkness. Mm-hmm. Not from the light, from the dark. Um, Chris says, Yeshua family, I am really sorry. Can you say it in other words, please? Yes, it was really I big answer, and I didn't expect that, but I can follow your words a little bit at least. Now, Chris, are you having trouble with my accent? Um, I know I use a different dialect obviously than you. Some words I use is not necessarily the generic English way of saying things in this country. So I don't know if some of the words that I'm using or uh, facial expressions, if you're not picking up on it because it's not part of your culture. So just let me know. And I'll try to tone it down a bit so you can understand what I'm talking about. um, let's see. Yeshua says, yes, Queen, he was chosen for a purpose. You're talking about the clown. Okay. Chris says, this is what the mainstream media in Europe are telling us. Therefore, I am interested in knowing why he has so many supporters. A lot of these people have been brainwashed. A lot of these people just want the typical politics to be shaken up. They were tired of the same old. And they wanted a non-politician to get up in there and ruffle some feathers. So that's one reason why some people voted for him. Trump don't care what you think. He tells it the way he thinks it should be. And it is what it is. And some people wanted that. They wanted to get rid of the same old same old. They wanted something different, right? Whatever didn't come to pass from the other politicians, they wanted something different. And they thought that he was a breath of fresh air. You know, he didn't tiptoe or tap dance. He just tell it like it is. And a lot of people wanted that. They wanted that forthcoming aspect of him. And so now a lot of people are, um, a lot of people are, they feel regret that they even voted for him. They wanted to give him a chance, right? Then you have another group of people that are just racist, and they liked everything he said about make America great again. And what kind of great are you talking about? Um, let's see. Trump is the last Trump. Some people believe that Trump is the last president of this country. Now that's a whole different conversation right there. Um, that there would not be another president of this country. That he's the last one. Makes you think. Andrea says, "How many inches?" Okay. Oh, we got a little troll up in here. mm. I have my preferences, Andrea, but I like to keep that in my quarters. And the individual that is worthy of being in my quarters would know. So if you're not in my quarters, then you're not worthy. And if you're not worthy, it's none of your business. Just saying. You're more than welcome to hang out here and listen to me talk about things that has nothing to do with my quarters. Okay? Um, so the next thing I wanted to talk about, besides the living arrangement here, I've been going on for a while about that. It is what it is. I've upgraded and I feel safe and I'm happy. Oh, and the next place, when I check out here Friday, I think I mentioned it's going to be Sheraton, and they're under Marriott as well. So there's quality. The next few days of the pretty much this week, I'm going to be here in quality. And big ups to my other BFF. Um, she is connected to someone who is an employee of the Marriott brand. And so she was able to give me a discount. It's like a friends and family discount. Um, and so I got the hookup. And so instead of me booking this room through Chase, my credit card, through their travel port or through Expedia or any other third party um, website, I had the corporate code that was given to me. And I booked through Marriott's website, so directly through Marriott. And so I was able to get a really good deal here. I think it's like $80 a night or something like that. And then again, Sheraton, I did not use the code, corporate code for Sheraton. I actually found that through Chase website. So Chase has this travel port website. And that's where I found the deal. It was 65 freaking dollars a night. It was a weekend thing. They have this thing going on. If you book at a Marriott or a hotel that's under the Marriott brand, um, it's dirt cheap. And it's like the weekends. And I think it goes through, I think the next 2 or 3 weeks. If you book the weekends, it's cheaper. Typically, it costs more on the weekends to book, right? But they have this thing or this deal going on. So I went ahead and booked the Sheraton using my points because my points were only like 6,500 points for a hotel that would have been well over 15, 20,000 points. So your girl used her points to stay at the Sheraton this weekend. Let me upgrade ya. Let me upgrade ya. For real. Oh, I needed an upgrade after extended stay. That was sorry. Again, I must have too much class. And again, at my age and where I come from, I'm not going backwards. I'm just not. Um, Chris says, sorry, but I have to leave. It's late here in Europe. Europa. Thank you for the nice stream and conversation. Ah, thank you, Chris. Thank you so much. I appreciate you chiming in. I appreciate you listening and contributing to the conversation because it's kind of boring. I feel like I'm talking to myself when I don't have other people interacting with the live stream or whatever. So I appreciate you. Rest well, be blessed, and be a blessing to others, okay? Good night. Yeshua says, or Yezreel says, wow, that's a good deal. Yeah, it is a good deal. Again, if you book Friday and Saturday night, the weekend, right? You book the weekend through a Marriott link. And no, it wasn't through Marriott. I'm sorry. It was through Chase Travel Port. That's where I found the deal. And when I saw that, I was like, wait a minute. Because I actually went to Sheraton and I kind of looked at their extended stay wing, not their actual hotel rooms, but they have extended stay wing on the side, long stay, you know, type housing. I hated it. It looked like a freaking projects, and it also reminded me of dorms at college. You know how the dorms look. I was like, no. But these rooms are what you expect at a Marriott. um, and yeah, $65 a night. And my points were only like 6,000 some change versus 20,000 points. So, like I said, your girl got the good deal, used the points. So, I will continue to be upgraded for this entire week. And I'm going to try to find more deals. So, again, big ups to my BFF who hooked me up with discount friends and families for the Marriott. Hey, hey. Because the thing is, she travels all the time and she has 3 kids and a husband, and they're always traveling. And they don't stay in no roach motels either. So, yeah, they travel well because they have connections with someone who works for Marriott. So, friends and family, they have that also through IHG, International Hotel Group, I think, like Holiday Inn Express and, you know, different other brands of hotels. So you can, if you have a credit card or whatever like that, you could get points and all of that. I don't have a hotel specific credit card. I just have Chase credit card. And with Chase, at the time when I signed up for it, it had so many like perks. And as of right now, they still have a lot of perks. So can't hate on Chase. Yashua says, now what's up? Now that's what's up. We need good friends. I know that's right. She's been my friend since middle school, believe it or not. We went to middle school together, high school, went off to college together. Went to the same school um, in Northern Virginia. And I helped take care of her kids, and you know, the rest is history. So she's like my sister. I mean, seriously, like if you didn't know any better, the way we interact, you would think we were relatives. We don't look just like now. Me and Jennifer, many people think we look like sisters, right, Jennifer? If you're still watching, yeah. Wherever Jennifer is, for a moment there, everybody was like, "Where's Erica?" If they don't see Jennifer, they ask, "Where's Jennifer?" If she's somewhere and they don't see me, they say, "Where's Black and Indigenous American?" Well, that's not what they call me in real life, but this is the platform that I use, and that's the name that I use. So anyway, um, now I'm switching gears. Okay, I'm switching gears, and I'm gonna try to wrap up this video no later than 7 o'clock. Okay. Um, Plus, I'm sure a lot of people may not even be watching me because they're so busy preparing for the game. If you haven't heard, if you have been living under a rock, the teams that are going to play each other tonight is Kentucky, no, Kansas City, and San Francisco. Now, San Francisco's slogan or whatever is 49ers. Kansas City is Chiefs. Now, if you've been following me a while, you understand how I feel about um, culture appropriation as far as indigenous American mascots and things of that nature, right? Well, obviously, the Kansas City football team, they have arrowhead, right, for their logo, but they go by the Chiefs. And many people who are fans of this team They were wore bonnet, well, headdresses. They do chants and all the stuff, which is totally inappropriate. Totally inappropriate. It's insensitive. And apparently people just don't get it. They just don't get it. Now, I haven't been watching TV yet, right? I haven't really been on Facebook. So I don't know if people are actually out protesting. They probably are. Probably protesting outside of the game. Now, are they going to get any coverage? Probably not. Probably not. But it's an issue. And being in the DC metropolitan area, you have the Washington team with the R word. And the R word is derogatory. It is equivalent to the N word. And so for those people that don't understand what that is, the N word is a derogatory term that's been associated with black people. Black people from Nigeria. So the individuals who decided to call all black people the N word, they mispronounced the word. And it became derogatory. But citizens from Nigeria are called Nigerians. And again, there's nothing wrong with being connected to Nigeria. And many people who are descendants of the African diaspora are probably linked to Nigeria, one of those West African countries. You know, it's documented in so many words. But the derogatory aspect of the N word, you can look it up yourself because I'm not going to repeat it. The R word has something to do with blood and scalping women and children. There's nothing honorable about using that word. You're not honoring anyone by using that word. I don't care if you have a handful of Uncle Tomahawks, as some people call them, those who you have paid off to say that you're cool with it and it doesn't bother you, your tokens. It doesn't matter what they say. What matters is what the rest of the population feels about it. It is definitely disrespectful. I know how it feels. I come from a blended background. And what bothers me is when people, when they come from a group of people that have been oppressed and you don't understand the significance of how ugly that term is. But as soon as somebody calls you the N word and they happen to be white, all of a sudden you have an issue with it. Now that is hypocrisy. That's what that is. And it is so annoying. It really is. I have folks that I went to school with, and sometimes I see their stuff on Facebook, and they are fans of that particular football team, and they say the R word, and I don't even follow them anymore. I mean, they're still friends on Facebook, but I don't follow them. Because I've posted things on my Facebook page. I've gone to protests. I've gone to rallies. And if you do some research, you probably see me in some of those pictures on the front page of the Washington Post or whatever. I'm not there for a photo op. Some people are, but I'm not. I understand. Just because something does not offend me does not mean that it does not offend. It does not mean that it's not derogatory. And for people that don't get it, that just shows how they are, their character. But if it's something that bothers them, they're the first to have something to say. Now, if you watch the Super Bowl, you're going to see a lot of people who are fans of the Kansas City Chiefs wearing headdresses. And these headdresses are not just for show and tell, they're not costumes. The only individuals that should be wearing those headdresses are those who are voted into being a chief or a councilman or something like that. It's not a costume. Okay, if you don't understand that, but you happen to be a black person, how would you feel if someone painted their skin black and put an afro on and chucking and jiving and stuff, and they're being a jokester? How would you feel about that? What if there was a football team and they called themselves, I don't know, Kansas City Jigaboos? Okay, black folks. How long you think that would have lasted? Really? You would be cool with the Jigaboos? Probably not. Probably not. So you have to think of it that way. Whatever offends you culturally, align that up with how people feel about that R word. That is not honoring anyone. Then I did some research about the Outer Banks. Apparently, there's another R word mascot in the state of North Carolina that's attached to a high school. It's Manteo High School, which is located on Roanoke Island in Dare County, North Carolina. And I'm just finding out about this school because I've been spending so much time in the Outer Banks. I had no clue that this high school on Roanoke Island, that's named after, by the way, an indigenous American, Manteo. I guess they feel like they're honoring the indigenous people. And North Carolina has a large population of indigenous people. And I've said this before, my roots also are from North Carolina on my dad's side. To me, that just doesn't make sense that that was allowed to happen and that it's still going on. I don't know, some people are so desperate for the feds to recognize them that they're willing to allow a high school team or high school in general to have a mascot. Oh, Native Americans were here, so we're going to honor them. Oh, yeah, let them honor us. Well, I don't care how they honor us, but we want the federal government to know we're here. So let's just let that pass. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. We just want attention. So as long as they know Native Americans are still here, I don't care what they call themselves. Because we trying to get federal recognition. I'm saying to myself, really? All these indigenous American people down here in North Carolina, and you have this high school in Dare County, North Carolina, on Roanoke Island, where the Lost Colony and all that, And you mean to tell me y'all that live down there, born and raised, didn't know nothing about this school and their mascot? They literally call themselves Manteo R word. And I'm not going to say what the R word is. Yes. So not only was I dealing with the franchise up in DC, Washington football team, but now I'm learning about another R word team, which happens to be a high school, basketball, football, and whatever else athletic, um, um, whatever else they have down there that's athletic. They have T-shirts and jerseys and everything else with the R word on it. Proudly walking around with those jerseys on. And see, where I went to school, our mascot was a baron, and our school has something to do with the color blue, and it has something to do with a stone. Our colors were blue and gold. Where I'm from. And so the jerseys and things of that nature, you know, when people will wear their school colors and stuff, it had barons on it. Now, is that offensive to somebody? I don't know. I don't know. No one told me. So maybe these kids in Dare County, North Carolina, maybe they don't know. I would think with the publicity going on with the Washington football team, I would think they would have a clue. Now, I'm not blaming the kids because they're kids. I am disappointed in administration down there, the superintendent and the board of education and all that. I'm disappointed with that. I am. I really am. Now, I'm going to read a little bit about Manteo, if you're not familiar with it. Now, Andy Griffin, if you remember Andy Griffin's show, right? Andy Griffin was from Antio, just so you know. So that's Roanoke Island, like I said, in North Carolina. Let me see. Let me just read a little bit of the history. I'm not going to read too much, but it says, the town, and this is according to Wikipedia, the town is named for an American Indian named Manteo, who was of Croatan's tribe of American Indians. Manteo had been civilized by the English during a trip to London in 1584, where he and another Indian, Wanchese, learned to become the liaisons between the Roanoke colony settlers and the Indians and had favorable interaction with British colonist John White. I'm going to stop there. Wanchese is also a town that is on Roanoke Island. And from what I've heard, Manteo, there's a large black community there. Now, of course, I don't believe they're all black folks. I just believe they're people of color living there. And then Manteo apparently is where the white folks lived. So the north part of Roanoke Island, colored people, and the south side of Roanoke Island, white folks. That's a bit of a history lesson for you guys. In fact, Manteo was christened and given the name Lord of Roanoke, making him the first American Indian to receive a title of nobility. Eventually, John White's daughter, Eleanor, married Ananias Dare, and they had the first American-born child, or American English child, Virginia Dare. So, the county is named after Virginia Dare. That's where you get the Dare County. Okay, she was the first white English born child in this country, or this land, I should say. In 1587, Montiel was friendly to White, I mean John White, when he returned to find what the final stage of the royal colony became. When the colonists disappeared after supplies from England were delayed for 3 years, the ongoing mystery of the lost colony began. Okay. So again, this high school is where the people of color stay, in Manteo. And this school called themselves Manteo R Word. Like for real, for real. There's no honor there. Sorry, there's just not. Manteo R Word. Manteo was an indigenous American man. They named the town after him. And they have their mascot. And they call themselves, the kids and everybody, right, to go to the school. They call themselves the R Word. Manteo's R Word. And I heard that on Roanoke Island, they have this festival every year. And there's this whole, what do you call that when people act out like Civil War type stuff? What do you call that? Reenacting, yeah, of the lost colony. And I heard the indigenous aspect of it was so, it was horse, S-H-I-T, let's just put it that way. The average indigenous American person that knows North Carolina's history, they said it is trash. Now, I have yet to go. And I even mentioned to Mr. I was like, eventually I do want to look at it. I do want to check it out. I'm not saying I'm going there to be entertained. I want to know what the hell they're saying. And what are they portraying to the tourists who don't know any better, and probably this is just fun for them. They don't care if it's, accurate or not. This is their vacation. I want to know what are they sharing with people at these reenacting exhibits and stuff. I'm just curious. I'll probably be pissed off, but I want to know why I'm pissed off versus what somebody else just told me. I want to experience being pissed off, okay? But I heard it's horse crap. And they do this every year. They have a Roanoke Island festival thing. And let me see. There's a Roanoke Island Festival Park, and this is where they have it. So if you go to RoanokeIsland.com, that's RoanokeIsland.com, you'll see what I'm about to read to you guys. So this event that they have, let's see. And they do school tours and everything. Experience a new adventure in an old world at Roanoke Island Festival Park. This 25-acre historic site allows guests of all ages to experience firsthand what life was like for the first English settlers in 1585. So this is similar to, from what I've heard and what I just read, similar to Jamestown and Williamsburg and Yorktown and all that in Virginia. Okay. Jamestown, obviously the settlement worked. Roanoke Island, the settlement failed. So that's why they call it the lost colony. Um, but again, this English. So they're going to hype this up, right? And make this romanticize it or whatever you want to call it. The historic costumed interpreters are featured throughout the settlement site and the Elizabeth II ship to demonstrate how the first settlers lived, worked, and played on Roanoke Island. For a hands-on history lesson, visit the Adventure Museum in American Indian Town, which feature interactive exhibits that all ages will enjoy. Yeah, so it is what it is. But I was just blown away. I said, you mean tell me I'm relocating outside of this area? Okay, when I was in Northern Virginia, all I would see would be Burgundy and Gold, the R word, and everything like that. So it was a breath of fresh air to get out of Northern Virginia. And when I relocated to Maryland, I saw all this purple and black, which is Ravens. That's their mascot or whatever for Baltimore Ravens football team. So it was nice to not see the R word all the time. But now, where I'm about to relocate, there is another set, not just one team, but all the teams at this school that go by the R word. I think they have, I mentioned football, basketball, I think they have baseball. I want to say they might have, I can't think of the other programs they have in their athletic, you know, group. But it's not just football. And so yeah, it is what it is. It's just some schools have changed it. Some towns, cities, even states have changed anything to do with anything derogatory towards indigenous people. They've changed. They've changed. Um, Yezreel says North and South Carolina has indigenous people. Yep. I have Virginia and South Carolina roots, indigenous and aboriginal people. Yep. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. Um, yeah. But like I said, I don't get it. Like, if it was the Jigaboos or the Ins or the Coons, you know, Kansas City Coons or whatever, or Washington Coons, black folks would have a fit. Right? Would have a freaking meltdown. Right? And they come out there with their mascot with their face painted black with an afro. And add some big lips and stuff to them, to their costume. Oh, they will have a fit. It will be World War 50. Okay? They will have a freaking fit. So I'm sitting here thinking about what else I wanted to mention. Because it's now 7 o'clock. And I said I was going to go ahead and end this video about 7 o'clock. So, the Super Bowl. 49ers in Kansas City. On a metaphysical level, if the 49ers win, apparently we're going to be going backwards as a society. And this is what I'm hearing from people who are really deep in decoding and symbols and everything like that. But if the Kansas City team wins, we're not going back. If anything, righting the wrongs to the indigenous people. This is what I'm hearing. Now, I am not that deep in decoding stuff and symbols and stuff like that. But apparently, with the Super Bowl, certain teams are chosen for certain purposes. And I don't know. Am I going to watch the Super Bowl? Probably not. Will I look at halftime show? Maybe. Um, because obviously, with this day and age, all the highlights are going to be available somewhere on YouTube, and I can watch it later. I can skip all the BS, skip the national anthem and all of that, and just look at the meat of what I want to look at. Yeshua says Germain Tria. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Can you explain to me what that means? What you're trying to say? Number decoding. Yeah. Like today is 02/02/2020. And apparently this is something special. Um, if you do 2020 backwards, you get 02/02. And there are no ones in the date today. There are only zeros and twos. I read something about that, the significance of 2020 and then 02/02. Let me see. Palindrome Day, whatever that means. A palindrome day happens when the day's date can be read the same way backwards and forwards. The dates are similar to word palindromes in that they are symmetrical. Because date formats vary from country to country, not all dates that are considered palindromic in one kind of date format are palindrome days in another. Huh. Let me do a little bit more research. I need to know the metaphysical significance of that. Let's see. Give me a moment here, guys. Let's see what this is all about. It's a big deal, but I'm just learning this stuff, so I don't know the details. But apparently today with Groundhog's Day and the Super Bowl and me upgrading into this room, it's important, right? Okay. Here's something. Registeredguard.com. Okay, according to this, it says it's like going to a museum and looking at art pieces or solving a word puzzle on a newspaper or something like that. It has a magic power in the sense that it can host a social interaction. I don't know. That ain't telling me nothing. Let me find something else. Yeshua says, check out Children of Its Real Out Here channel. Check out Germatria Effects channel. You talking about on YouTube? I'm not watching the Super Bowl. It's a ceremony. Okay. Yeah. I'm not bored with it. I mean, I'm not a sports person, but whenever I would watch it, because I used to be involved with someone who was very much a sports fanatic. So, of course, I would see, different games that would happen. Of course, I would kind of look at the Super Bowl, not for the game, but for the halftime shows and the commercials. Nowadays, I don't even really pay attention to it because I'm not looking at it. um, okay, let's see. Okay, in infinitynow.wordpress.com. I don't know how accurate this is, but Tara Green, tarot reader, astrology psychic. So let's see what she has to say about it. A palindrome day happens when a day's date can be read the same way forward and backwards, which I just read. The next one will be December the 12th, 2121. 100 years from now. 101 years from now. So will I be around? I plan to be around for 111 years. 111. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. After that, it will be another 909 years until the next 8-digit palindrome on March the 3rd, 3030. Wow. After the 3030 palindrome, the next will be 1010 years later on April the 4th, 4040. Could you imagine 4040? Like, I'll obviously be an ancestor, right? We all will be ancestors. But 4040. February the 2nd, 2020 is a palindrome in USA, UK, and ISO formats. We are lucky to have such a special palindrome date occurring in our lifetime because it's so rare. This is University of Portland professor Azi E. Nunn. I guess that's how you pronounce it. For starters, it's an 8-digit palindrome. And 8, from what I've heard, is finance, abundance. Okay? The number 8. Okay, so for starters, it's an 8-digit palindrome. 02022020. Many palindrome dates are only symmetrical if you write the date with 7 digits. 1, 10, 20, 11. That's an example. Or in some cases, even fewer, like 9, 10, 19. And that's a dash, 9 dash 10 dash 19. But even more rare, according to Ian, is that Sunday's date is an international palindrome. It works whether you write the date as month, day, year, or day, month, year, as many countries do. Whether you're in Europe, Asia, America, it happens on the same calendar day, which is February the 2nd. He added. He also pointed out that this Sunday is the 33rd day of the year, which will be followed by 333 more days, or 333 more days. Numerology, guys. Ian's website lists 500 years worth of palindromes spanning from the 19th century to the 23rd century. A palindrome day happens when a day's date can be read the same way, blah, 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 blah. And then the number 2 is the symbol of the high priestess. In the tarot, she is the moon incarnate. She is the goddess who holds the veil between the world. She rules the intuition, the dream world, all arcane, mystical, witchy, wolfy, divine feminine energy. Woo! That's power, guys. Wow. The 1,000-year reign of the high priestess is what governs our time. Since the beginning of the 21st century, there is 1,000 years, with every year beginning with 2, and under her jurisdiction. Wow. All of these are master numbers. All master numbers are connected to the tarot, where there are 22 major tarot arcana, and in gematria and with angels. So I think that's what you were talking about, Yezreel. They spelled it Gematria. That's how this website spelled it. We will have another rare opportunity on February the 20th, 2020 as well. My daughter's 22nd birthday. Wow. Her high priestess year is 2020. Ian described palindromes as this magic power and a brain teaser. Tune into the high priestess energy today and receive her intuitive wisdom. Meditate, which I did this morning. Take time out to connect with her. And gematria, Hebrew numerology. That's what that is. Hebrew numerology. Everything is mathematics and everything is numbers. This rare synchronicity is a sign. She symbolizes the number 2, Sephiroth, and the middle pillar on the tree of life descending from Kether, which is number 1, and number 6, Teferet, at the center of the tree of life. Keter. Keter, I think, is pretty much God, highest divinity, creator, if I'm not mistaken. I know Bina is feminine, and that's on the left side of the tree of life. I know, because I use that as one of my names on social media. But now it's making sense now when you mention gematria and numbers. When you mentioned that Yezreel earlier in this chat. Now it's starting to click now. And the thing is, I have a Kabbalah book, right? Idiot's Guide to Kabbalah, whatever. And I haven't yet dove into it yet. You know what I'm saying? Because Kabbalah is just on another level. And you shouldn't have no other distractions, right? So you can really focus and comprehend what you're reading. Especially if your life path and soul path numbers are 2, I have this. It's especially powerful for you. Also, 22's master numbers of the Fool will also benefit from tuning into the Fool's energy of being totally in tune with the moment. Enjoy this special day. Please share widely. All writing except where indicated is copyright, blah, 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 blah. So, High Priestess year. I also acknowledge this year as a master year. Wow. Today, wow. It's interesting how where I stayed, and I know I keep going back to, where I was staying the last few days, to this on 02/02/2020, a day to manifest and to meditate, and wow. Wow. And it's a Sunday, guys. It's a Sunday. A Sunday apparently is a day of abundance as far as if you're going to meditate and things of that nature. The color, I believe, is yellow or gold, like the sun. So it's a great day to meditate for that type of manifestation. From what I'm learning, Sundays. And Thursday is a day for cha-ching, and the color is green and maybe blue. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm still learning the colors and the days and the moon cycle, and now I'm learning about this 02/02/2020, which I happen to be here in this space today. Yeah. But anyway, is there anything else you guys want to talk about before I end this video? Because it's well over 2 hours. It's almost 2.5 hours. So it looks like Yashral family agreed with what I just read from that website. Again, I don't know um, how accurate it is, um, but that's what I saw. That came up when I Googled, first thing that popped up, and I just read it. Anything else? And I was not planning on doing a live video today. I was gonna wait till Thursday because it seemed like Thursday, you know, seemed like there's more interaction on Thursdays. But um, I just had to get on, guys. I'm just in a space right now where I'm open to communicate and just wanted to give a review about what I've been experiencing at different hotels. I will say this now and I will say it again. Do your homework. Do your homework. And yes, I read reviews and I still wanted to experience it because maybe, just maybe, I wouldn't experience it. Well, guess what? Your girl experienced exactly what I read in the reviews. So do your homework. You know, if you're traveling or whatever, make sure you read those reviews. Read them on uh, travel. What's it called? Travel Advisor or something like that. Expedia. A lot of these third-party um, websites where you can book. Also, the direct website of wherever you're trying to stay. People leave real reviews. And just saying, take it seriously. Take it seriously. And I actually thought about staying there for 30 days. 30 days. Just so I wouldn't have to bounce from one place to the next, right? 30 days. And apparently, if you stay there 30 days, they give you a deeper discount. You just sign up online and then you deal with the booking agent. You call them directly and all this stuff, right? Apparently. Something kept telling me, no, you've read the reviews. You read the reviews. You got common sense. You have discernment. You've been gifted with discernment, okay? If you're going to stay there for a few days. Don't sign no contract. Because apparently, if you stay there 30 days or something like that, you have to sign a contract. Almost like a lease that you can't break or whatever. I'm so glad my intuition kicked in full gear and said, no, if you're going to do this to save a few coins, do it for a few days. Don't you get caught up in staying somewhere for 30 days without trying it out first. So, anyway, it is what it is. I've upgraded and I'm feeling really good right about now. And I'm going to say this and then I'm going to be done tonight. We have to trust the process. And right now, it's some instability, not just in my physical life, but just throughout the world. You know, there's that shaking up. You know, things are not the way you thought it would be based on someone else's experiences. This is your experience, and you know you're feeling wobbly right about now. But trust the process. Trust it. Because even though it's not comfortable, if you stayed in your familiar territory and you went along with it because it was comfortable and you were not in the space that you should have been in order to grow because it was comfortable, then you're stagnant. You're idle. And I didn't want that in my life. I took a chance. I rocked the boat. I got out of my familiar. I got out of my comfort zone, and I trusted the process. And along the way, that side of me that I suppressed, has awakened. And it needed to be awakened in order for me to experience growth. So whenever people go through certain situations and they wish they would have stayed in the safe zone until they see the light at the end of the tunnel, and they would not have gotten there if they would have stayed in the safe zone. So then when they look back, they're like, I'm glad I took a chance. Yes, it was rocky. Yes, it was uncomfortable. Yes, there was a lot of friction. But I would not have gotten to this space of this growth, to this magnitude of growth, if I would have stayed in a safe space, in that cocoon. And when you're in a safe space, you don't know who you are. You don't know the complete story. You don't know the complete magnitude of who you are until you are in the furnace. That's when you know. And yes, it's a nightmare sometimes. It's a nightmare sometimes when you are experiencing that side of you that is uncomfortable, and that side of you that is low. You want to reach for the stars, right? You want to. But there's times where you need to be introduced to other elements and other aspects of your being. It all works for the greater good. It does. And sometimes it can get ugly. Sometimes it can get uncomfortable. Sometimes you look back like the Israelites when they were in the wilderness for 40 years. They complained, they grumbled. They said, we would have been better off just staying back there being slaves. We would have been better off. Why do we listen to you and this God? Why do we do that? We should have just stayed there and just dealt with the Pharaoh. And with all the complaining, all they did was slow down their access to better circumstances. So they had to wander around, according to the story, they had to wander around 40 years. The complainers had to die. And eventually another generation came around, and that generation experienced the promise for them, according to the Bible. You can't just stay where it's familiar when it's not the path that you're supposed to be on. We all have a role to play. And sometimes you're not going to relate to certain people because you didn't experience it. You don't know because you didn't experience it. And sometimes your role is to experience circumstances and situations that's uncomfortable. Just think of it like a precious gem, a precious diamond, or whatever. That diamond didn't become a diamond without that pressure. And I've mentioned this before, and you probably heard it from other people too. I mean, I didn't make that up. I heard somebody else say it. So sometimes, to be precious, you have to go through some things. And many people, when they reach the mountaintop, they said, I wouldn't change nothing about the process, because this is how I got to the mountaintop. And I mean, I know I'm being pretty vague as far as my personal life or whatever like that. But there have been times that I've thought about, well, what if I just stayed in the safe zone? I would have dealt with a lot of depression. That's what would have happened if I would have stayed in the safe zone. My gut told me there's more. Fear not. Pick up your mat and walk. And I'm walking. I am very thankful to my spiritual team that has been guiding me and sending me messages whichever way I find is comfortable for me. I'm very thankful. Very thankful. I'm thankful for the foundation that I was introduced to as a child. And I'm excited about what more I can learn about myself in my walk. I'm excited. My current experience in life is not boring at all. I miss boredom sometimes. I miss schedules and structure on a regular routine basis, right? I miss that sometimes. But in order to grow, and I'm talking on a spiritual level, in order for me to grow, I am required to see all of me, all of it, and to balance me. So as a Libra, that's what we seek. We seek balance. It's funny, last weekend when I was away, I passed by this road. I passed by it several times, but for whatever reason, I noticed the street name or the road name, and it was Balance with two L's. And apparently that's a surname. I've never heard that surname before. But it was almost like confirmation in a way. Balance. It can't be too much of this and too much of that. It needs to, you know, be like this. You can't be arguing all the time, all day, every day. And you can't hold it in all the time, all day, every day. This extreme versus that extreme. It's destructive. And yeah, there needs to be a little friction over here and a little bit of chill out over here. But it can't be extreme ends of that. And I don't know if I'm making any sense to anybody out there because I'm being very vague right now. But with my current experience, it's the unknown. It's the unfamiliar territory. And that can be uncomfortable. When people ask me things about what's going to happen in my immediate future, I can't give them an answer. It depends on this and it depends on that. And if this happened, then this can happen. So it's like it's hard for people that care about me if I open up too much. It's hard for them to be comfortable with my decisions. And so I just keep it to myself. So when things come to pass, then I can share it. But as of right now, I don't have direct answers. It's called hashtag trust the process. That's what it's called. So I am trusting the process. So is there anything else you guys want to chime in about? Because this whole 7 o'clock getting off now is 7:32. Anything else? Going once. Going twice. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end this video. Thank you guys for watching this long. For those who've been on here from the very beginning. Oh, Yisrael says, I'm here if you need me. Well, I'm good. Thanks for offering to be of help. But I'm going to go ahead and end this video. So thanks. Yisrael, I believe you've been on here from the very beginning of this long video. You could have been doing anything else, but you chose to watch me gibber and jabber. So thanks for contributing to the chat box. Thanks for everyone else who was here. Maybe was here the entire time or just came in and left. I even thank the ones that came here and just, for whatever reason, just decided to put weird stuff up that had nothing to do with what I was talking about. Thank you too. Maybe they'll go towards my algorithms. I don't know. But that is the end of this video, guys. So be blessed. Be a blessing to others. Until next time, which might be this coming up Thursday. Until next time. Toodles.